This is the fourth video of the Blocksy series, and we're going to check out the menu element. Hi, my name is Stratos and I create video tutorials about WordPress. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Let's start by clicking the menu element that we have already inside here, the menu 1. And immediately I have to select first the menu. I have already created a menu and I called it main. And once I do that, this will change into the main menu and it will display me the pages. As you can see, I have also created sub pages for the services, and then here I have also the third layer. I need that also in order to show you some settings. Let's go for the top level options. These are the options that we have for the top level, which means that these are for the 4 pages that I have inside here. Then we have the drop-down options, which are for the pages that we have underneath the services. Maybe you don't have, if you don't have it as a sub-menu. And we don't have anything else here. As you can see, we also have the design that is specific to the drop-down options, and we have the design for specific top-level options. So we have 2 design buttons, and this is something that is changed from the other settings inside the customizer that we saw, because we had only one, I think, design button everywhere. Okay, so let's start with the top-level options. We have 4 types, and the first type is that we have a hover effect, and it changes the color of the page that we hover to a blue. Also, that hover effect will also stay to the active page. So if you click the home page, it will stay blue, and this will indicate to the visitor that he's on the home page. If we change into the type 2, then we're going to see that we have a line, a blue line underneath the pages, and this is how it looks. If we go to the type 3, we will have a background that will change for everything that we hover over, and of course for the active page later on. And if I select the 4th type, we will have 2 lines, as you can see here, one on top and one at the bottom of every page that we hover over. After that, we have the item spacing, and this is between the pages. So let's go for something like 30 just to see the differences. And for the item height is basically the item, this home item, and the height that it will have inside the whole element. So basically, it will change the height of the lines, not the height of the lines, but in the distance that we have between these items and the lines for this moment. So let's go to 50 and we'll see that the lines are now closer to the items. If I go and select this type 3, it means that also the background and the height of the background is going to change, because again the item height has changed. It's 50% now. So if you change that number, it will also affect what are the effects for the type 2, 3, and 4. Also the type 2, you will see that the line again is closer. If you select the type 2, we have also the indicator effect, and it means that this is how it will appear, the line will appear, with what effect. We have the default one, we have the center to slides, and it means that the line will appear into the center first, and it will spread to the edges. And if we select left to right, it will appear from left and it will slide to the right. This is the effect once you hover over something. If we select the type 3, we don't have anything here, and if we select the type 4, again we don't have that. Okay, let's leave it to the 1, and I'm going to come back once we go to the colors. Then we have this stretch menu, and it will stretch all the items that we have inside into the available space that we have. For this, it's 2 columns, so it will go and will reach almost the logo that we have. I'm going to disable that. And then we have also the collapse non-fitting items. It means that it will show more here. And if you want to see the other items that you have in the menu, you have to hover over or click it if you have set as that, and then see all the other pages. This is if you have added too many items and they cannot fit inside your menu. Let's go and see now the colors. We don't have anything else here. Let's go for the design, and here we have, of course, the font. If I click it, I will see all the options that we have for the fonts. Let's go for 17 because I like 17. In my menu, I'm going to change that to a medium just to have something different. And also, I don't like capitalized letters into the menu, uppercase letters into the menu, so I'm going to disable that as well. This is how I usually put it, and I usually put it into black. This is not black, it's something similar but not exactly black. So I'm going to put it as black. After that, we have the hover effect and the active color. And this is, of course, the color that I have once I hover over a page, an item here. And of course, the color that it will stay once it's active. If I go into the general and select something different from these types, I will also have the active indicator color, which is basically the color that I have here for the background. Let's go and change that to a red one. So you will see now that I have red background. And of course, as you can see, once I hover over, I have white colors for the red background, and this is from here for the active and the hover colors. This probably should be identical because you don't want to have background color into the hover effect and then once you go and click active to have something different. If you have the type 1, I understand that you may have different colors here, a little lighter, and this would be dark, I think, but for the type 3 I think that you will have similar colors because the background is exactly the same. If you select to have a background here, we have also the item border radius, so we can put here 20 for everything and it will have this effect, and it means that if you go and put here 50, it will go and do a round background. After that, we have the margin and we have right and left margin for the whole element. Okay, I think that was all with the top level options. Let's go now to the drop down options. I'm going to change that to this one because I like it better once I hover over to have a simple effect. And let's start with the drop down options. The first one is the interaction type, which is hover or click, and it means how do you want to see the sub pages? Do you want to just hover the item that has the sub pages or click it? If you want to select click, then you should click it in order to see that. And for me now, it also means that it will redirect into the service page because this is actually a page with the link. This is the services page. In most cases, when you create something into the menu and you add sub items inside there, it's not a page that it has a link. It's just an item with no link. But at this moment I did it this way because I also have this option that I wanted to show you, and this is exactly that. So by default is the entire item, which means that you can click the entire item and see the whole sub menu here. But if you have actually a link, then it will not be easy for the customer, for the visitor, so you have to go for only arrow. This means that he will click the arrow and he will see the sub pages. But if he clicks the service page, he will go into the services. Let's go and put that in hover, and let's see then the item hover effect. This means how do you want to see the hover effect for the sub pages. The default is the simple one. We have the solid color and we have the boxed color. Let's hover over and you will not see anything because at this moment it has a pretty dark color, so you cannot see anything. Let's change first the colors for the sub menus. So let's go into the design and let's see the item background color here, and we're going to change that. I have two colors because I have selected this boxed color. If you have the simple one and go here, you will see only one color. Let's change that to something off-white, and once you do that, you will see the changes. For me, it doesn't work. Probably it needs to be refreshed. This is a problem of WordPress, not Blocksy, because the customization has many problems at some points, sometimes. So let's go back into the items hover effect. Let's go to services, and now as you can see, I have a different background. This means that I also should change the colors for the text. So let's go for the font color. Let's put that into a black, and I'm going to leave it as blue. So now you can see how it does the hover effect. So it changes the item color to a different color. Let's go back into the general. I'm going to change that to solid color, and probably I have to also set a color because this doesn't have a color. Let's go for red again. And now once I hover over, you will see that it changes the color into red. Also, I should probably change the hover color for the font to something different than the blue because I don't like it with the red, and I would probably do a white here. Let's do a white. And now once I hover over, I will have the red background with the white colors. Okay, Let's go back into the general, and if I select the box color, it will be a little bit less of height. As you can see, it's much smaller. Let's leave it to solid color just for a few moments. And now we have the item spacing, and we have 15 pixels. And if I change that to something bigger, you will see that this will spread out. Now, it doesn't seem to be working, but if I publish and refresh again, let's go back into the header, let's go into the menu, and let's scroll down. Now you can see that we have a space, but let's go and remove that live in order to see that to change. So now we have 15. Now I would like here to have separate settings for the item spacing, because this is for the whole item left, right, bottom, top. So I would like to change probably the left spacing into something different than the top, right, and bottom. But I cannot do that. This is a fixed item. I will change for the left, right, bottom, and top at the same time. Then we have the reveal effect, which is the default one, and this is how the box and the content inside reveals itself. So we have the inner reveal, and if I hover over, you will see that it makes a little bit of, if you can see the content, that it's going to fade up. It makes that effect. So here is the simple effect. I think there is no effect. And this is the opacity effect, probably a fade in. As you can see, this is how it looks. After that, we have the width. Let's go back to the default settings. The width of the box. So now we have 200 pixels. And if I go and put here 400 pixels, you will see the differences. So this is how it looks right now. If you have big words, many big words into your pages, into your sub pages, and you want to spread out the menu, this is the place that you do it. Be careful, because it can go off the screen and it will mess out your layout. So be careful with those settings. Let's go for 200 again. Then we have the top offset and the horizontal offset. The top offset is this space that it's going to have between the box that it's now for the sub menu and the line that we have here, which is the end of the second row, the main row. And let's put that into 20 pixels to see that now that I have a little bit of space, as you can see, for the box. Let's go back to 0. And of course, if you put it here negative, it will go closer to the menu. Let's go again to 0. Here we have the horizontal offset, but the horizontal offset is not actually for this box. It's for the third items that we have here for this box. So if I go and put here at 60, you will see now that this box is way to the right than it was before. Let's go again for 5 pixels. So this is where the horizontal offset goes. Let's go to the design again. Now we have the font family for the sub menus, and let's change that to something like 17 or 16. For the weight, I'm going to leave it as 500. I'm not going to change here anything else. Then we have the item divider that we can set between those items, and let's change that to a different color, because this is why it's not displaying now the color, displaying the item divider, because it didn't have a color. And if you want, you can go with solid, and probably this will be something like this, 17. And now it's more settled. I think that it should be also a little bit lighter. Let's go for something like 7. Yeah, something like that if you want. And then we have the drop down shadow for the box again. We have a little bit of shadow, so you can change that if you want, and change the color, and you can set the adjust. So horizontal offset, vertical offset, blur, and spread. And if you want to have outline or inset the drop shadow of the box. Then we have the drop down border radius, and as you can see, once I hover over, I have a little bit of border radius into the bottom and to the left, and I can go for 20 here and 20 to see the differences. So as you can see, this is round and this is round also. Let's go for 5 and 5, something like that. And that were the basic settings of the menu. But we're not done, we're not nearly done, because what if we want to put sticky? What if we want to put something different like transparency? What if we want to do something like that? So in order to do that, I have to go back into the menu, into the header basically, And here that I have the elements, I have also this something here that says headers. Once I click it, you will see that I have here a global header. And we have a button that says create new header. That it means that you can create as many headers as you like, because you may need to add more than one headers in your page. Basically, if you want a transparent header, you have to create another one, because in most cases, you don't have to, but in most cases you will need to have transparency into the home page, but it's not ideal for all the other pages. So you create two headers and you set it differently. But if you want to do something like that and create something transparency, create first the menu, create everything for the header, and then just go and duplicate that. It's easier in order to do that, and don't do that first. Don't do the creation of the header first and then go and make all of those changes twice. First create your menu, first create all the main row, and then go and create a new header. So let's go into the global header. I'm going to click it, and here I have the sticky functionality and the transparent functionality. I'm going to start with the sticky functionality, of course. And the first is what I want to have as sticky. Only the main row, this is the main row, then the top and the main row will remain sticky. If I scroll down, you will see what it means. Here's the main row, and if I click this one, it will also affect the main row and the top row. Here we have the old rows, so if I create also something different for this one, let's go and grab the divider and put that here. Now I will have sticky the whole thing. If I want, I can just create sticky for the main and the bottom row, so this one will be hidden. Then we have only the top row if you want, and then we have only the bottom row. So as you can see, we have all the combinations here except for the bottom and the top row. I think that we don't have that combination. I'm going to remove the divider from here. Let's put it where it was, and I'm going to go for only the main row. After that, we have the reveal effect, and this is when you scroll down how you want that to be active. You can have it as a slide down, so once you start going into the website and scrolling down, you will see that it slides down. Then we have the fade, so it fades up, and then we have the auto hide and so this means that when you scroll down, you will not see that, but if you scroll up just a little bit, the menu will appear. You don't have to go all the way up, you just click and scroll up just a little bit, and this will show the menu here, the basically the row. Then we have the offset, and this means that you have you can push actually the sticky row that you have. Maybe there are more than one row and you want to push it by 100 pixels, so it will go and push it a little bit further. As you can see, I have a little bit of space right on top. Okay, let's remove that and put that on 0. Also, as you can see, we have different settings for the mobile and tablet view. Then we have the enable on, and means that where do you want that sticky functionality to be enabled? You have the PC and you have also the mobile view. So you want to enable that on mobile? Probably not. You will not do that because in most cases you will have something different from the mobile view, and also you don't have enough space into the phone to see every time the main row to take a little bit of space and not be able to see the content. So probably you will do something like that. Now, in the design, I don't have any options for the sticky. This is actually for the transparency, because this is why we may need to change the background in order to see that. But here I have also to go back, now that I have enabled the sticky functionality, into the actually row. Let's go into the row, into the main row. Here is the sticky state row shrink that I have already seen, but as I said, this is where you can adjust it but not enable it. And here you can make it shrink, so I can go with 50% or 70%, and once I hover and start scrolling, it will shrink into the height that I have put. But here the logo will stay the same, so it will not change. If I click the logo, I have now a sticky state logo, so I can change that to something that it's a little bit smaller. And also, as you can see, I have other settings here. Sticky state shrink. Do you want to change the logo to something different because maybe it has a little bit of text underneath that you don't want to show that once it's sticky? Or do you want just to shrink it into height? 120 is the logo height here, and I can go for 50 or 70 once I start scrolling. Let's scroll down to see that and as you can see now it's smaller. So we have different settings once we enable the sticky. Let's go into the main menu, let's go for the design, and here as you can see we have also settings for the sticky state. Here is for the main menu, so I can go for something like red once I start scrolling down, and for the hover over I just need that blue. Let's scroll down, and now as you can see this is the different colors that we may need. Let's go back to the general and let's go into the button, and here let's go for the design, and again you will see different settings for the sticky state because you may need also to change the buttons. So once you enable the sticky, you can see that all of those settings can be changed. You will not find those settings into the sticky settings where it was for the headers, but you will find it into the exact element that you want to change. Now, what if we want to change the background of the actual row? You will need to go into the main row, into the design, where you will find the color for the sticky state. And let's go and put here a red. No, red. Red is the font color, so let's go for a yellow, because who wants red into the sticky state? So this is how it looks. And as you can see, we have other settings as well. We have the top border once it's sticky, bottom border once it's sticky, shadow once it's sticky. Everything changed once you enable the sticky state. So let's go back, and probably I'm going to remove the sticky. No, I'm going to leave the sticky in order to create also a transparency. Probably you need to have both. So what do we do now with that? We have to also create a new header, because the problem with most websites is that you will have a home page that has an element that you want here to have a transparency, but for the other pages you will not do the same. You will not do exactly that, so you don't need transparency header. So first let's change a little bit how the page looks, because I need to do that. I haven't shown you yet the settings here, but since I'm showing you how to create the transparency, you have to go into the pages, and we're going to see those settings later on. And here you should probably remove the page title, because you don't need to do that. Now I will show you also another option if you want to have the page title in all other pages but not in the home page, because you want to do something different. So for now I'm going to disable that, so it will remove, and also I'm going to remove the content area vertical spacing. So let's do that. So now as you can see, the page will not have any content spacing, and the image that we have into the home page will come into the top of the page. Okay, I'm going to hit publish just to have it published. Let's go back, and let's go back into the header, and here I'm going to click to the headers, and I'm going to create a new header. Once I do that, I'm going to click to the header name, and I'm going to put here something like homepage header. And here it says copy elements and style from the global header. So do not create something from scratch. Go and copy everything, elements and styles, from the global header. And this is what I want to do. So do that. If you have other headers as well, you can click that if you want. So for me it's global header, and I'm going to create the new header. Once I did that, you can see that this is not the default, so it's the home page, and it can be removed if you want. If you want, you can delete it. And if you want to delete that, you cannot do that, because this is the default one. This is something that always has to be there. Once I go into the home page header and click it, I will see that I have all the settings that I had before for the sticky, as you can see here. And of course I have the transparent functionality. Now, since I have created two headers, from now on I have to change everything to both headers if I want those to be identical for the site. Because if I go now and go for the elements, I have clicked this one. This is blue, and this is the one that I have already selected. So I go into the elements, and I'm going for the probably HTML, and I'm going to put that into the middle. No, content block, HTML is already there. Content block into the middle, and I have to go and probably create something. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go and grab the HTML, and I'm going to put that into the middle. So I have the sample text here. Let's put that into the middle and probably do it correctly this time. And now let's go back here, and let's go, into the header, and let's go to the headers and click the home header. and click again the global header, because once I went out, it removed it. So for the global header, you can see that the HTML is not into the middle, it's right here. But for the homepage header, it's right here. So if you want to make a change, be careful. You have to go first into the header, select the header that you want to change, and then do the changes. But if you want to keep it consistently to the whole website, you have to do it 2 times, one for the homepage header and one for the global header. Okay, let's start from the whole homepage header, and we're going straight down, and we're going to hit the transparent functionality. Once I do that, immediately and automatically, as you saw, the image of the homepage went up, because this now doesn't have anything to push it down. It automatically goes and grab that settings. So as you can see now, it is a transparent functionality. But as you can see, I cannot see everything correct. So now I have to go select first to be sure that I am into the homepage header, and then go into the menu and select now to have probably the color of, I don't know, black. I think it's okay for this image, but you can go with a different color. For this one, let's go for red. So the active one will go into red. This is the default state. I have also the transparent state, and I have also the sticky state. So here, if I go and change the transparent to white, it will go everything and grab that settings now from the transparent, because I have different for the default state and different for the transparent state. And this is again if I create and have that displayed everywhere. But if I want only on one page or something different, then you will know that this will apply only for the page, the transparent page that we have set. This default state will not be here. Then let's go into the button. And let's go into the design. And what we have here, we have the transparent state. So you can change also the transparent colors for the button. And if I go into the logo, what we have here, we have the transparent state logo, because maybe you want a different logo that appears different, and it depends of the image that you have here. What is the background color that you have? Maybe you have a dark color, so you need white letters and you need another logo. So once you enable that functionality, the transparent functionality, it can be changed. And the same goes with all the elements that you have set. Once you click anything, you can see that in the design you will find here the transparent and of course the sticky state. What we want now to do is go and add a little bit of color once we are into this transparent functionality. So I'm going to the main row. Let's go for the design, and here I have the transparent state, and here it doesn't have any color. And I want to put here a white, but I want that to be not exactly transparent. Let's go for something like 30. And this is how you create some effect like that. So we will have the transparency, but we also have a little bit of background in order to see the items inside the menu. And of course, if you want, you can do that also into the top row. You can change here the transparency state. But once you start scrolling, then you will just need to change the colors for the sticky state, because then you will have that color. And probably I will need to go and pause. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to duplicate this to add a little bit more space so I can scroll down. Okay, just did it, but I didn't refresh. Let's refresh the page. Let's go into the header and let's start scrolling down. As you can see, this is how it looks. Let's go into the home page, and you will not see it because I haven't set it right now. But if I go into the headers and go into the home page header and select it, you will see that I have that functionality. So when I scroll down, I will have a different color, and when I have into the transparency, I have different colors. So once I click it, I will see that I have those settings here. And of course, these are all independently with the other header, because now I have two headers. Now, the thing that I have to do next is to edit the condition. So I need to tell the website when to apply the header that I have created, the home page header, and all the other pages will have the global header. Everything that I haven't set a header will have the global header. Do not be confused. When you click it, you will see the header that you have selected in order to change that, but it doesn't mean that it will apply into that page. All of those pages that it will apply is going to be set it into here. So let's click the add condition, and I'm going to add a display condition, and here it says include or exclude, and I can select entire website if I want, but here I'm going for just one page. So you can do all of those settings, all singular, all archives, all post archives, and everything else that you have here. So let's go for page ID and select page, and I'm going to select the home page, and I'm going to select save. And here it means that now, from now on, it will know automatically when to apply this header, and in all the other pages the global header will go automatically. You don't have to set conditions, you don't have conditions into the global header, because it goes automatically to all the other pages that are not set from any other headers. Let's go into the front page, let's refresh here, and you will see now that I have that. And once I scroll over, I have the sticky functionality, I have the string functionality, and I have everything that I have set here. And if I go into another page, you will see that I don't have that transparency. Let's go into the, I don't know, contact. It was a test page. So let's type test because I haven't added into the website. So let's go for test. And here, if I scroll down, I will see the sticky functionality, but I don't have anything for the transparency, as you can see. So if you have followed along, you do know how to create sticky functionality and transparent functionality. Remember, I'm going to say it one last time, that now that you have two headers, if you want to make any changes, you have to do it into both of those in order to be consistent. And if you are searching why doesn't something apply, maybe you have two headers and you have forgotten. And in 6 months' time, you will need to make a change, and you will see that it doesn't apply into the homepage for some reason. And this is because you have two headers. Once you go and refresh the customizer, it will go and select the global header. And you will go and make a change to the global header, and you go into the website, probably the homepage, and you will not see the change. And you will say, hey, why is that? Probably you will send into the support, and they will say you have two headers. So thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to more videos like this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.